What's shaking, Cheer Nation? ChewbaccaLemma here, back with another Madden 18 Ultimate Team video. Today I'm going to talk about my run to 23-2 and how I did it defensively. Now my offense, I could go over. This is only going to be defense, even though I'm showing you my offense. I'll flip it to the defense. This is only going to be defense related because that was what really won us those 23 games and how I did it. Now I will tell you, I don't do ebooks. They've really never done anything like this sort of feat, 23-2, but I do think because my defense is unique and something that people don't see that much, it's kind of hard to know how to attack it because of that. So today we're going to talk about how exactly I pulled it off, but let's first talk about my team and what you could go after to be able to pull off what I was able to do, hopefully. The first thing is Anthony Barr. I do think that this user is far and away better than any other player you could get for a user. I know a lot of people like Ryan Shazier, but the height, secure tackler, he's going to be absolutely a beast. So in my opinion, I do think Anthony Barr is almost a must, but if you want to run someone else, of course, that's just your user, so whoever you feel best with, I do believe Anthony Barr is, if you want to be able to have the best user in the game, like this is the guy you go after, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people would agree, because of secure tackler, because of that height, speed, he's very, very good. Now, some people will argue maybe Jason Taylor could be a good user as well, but he's also maybe the best right end in the game, so I have him at right end. You could try him as a user. He's fast. He's got secure tackler as well. I don't know. You could try him. Next up, I'll tell you what I do, and then you can decide if you like what I do and you want to mimic it. What I do is I blitz 3 out of 4 of the and a 3-4 odd. So I'm running the Ravens playbook. I love Ravens, and I'll talk about that when I get into there. But the 3-4 playbook out of Ravens is what I'm running. And what I do is I always make sure that my right end, my left end, and my left outside linebacker are always blitzing. Obviously, those are 3 pretty good guys to be going after the quarterback. My defensive tackle is almost always in a spy. Now, this is mostly because I kept facing Michael Vick, and I just got used to it, and I just really liked having a spy out there, even for, stop a lot of routes. And my spy is J.J. Watt. Now, I'm going to tell you, J.J. Watt is not the best spy in the game, but I love me some Houston Texans, and I love me some J.J. Watt, so he is why I use him. You use players you like, of course, as well, not just the best players. If you want the best spy in the game, if you want to try to, again, mimic what I'm doing, defense tackle Bo Jackson is probably the way to go. I don't think there's much doubt that he's the best spy in the game, and you're not going to struggle against he'll just shut down Michael Vick. So defense tackle Bo Jackson, you can use him all year, not very expensive. If you're wanting to get the best spy, that's who it is. That's who it is. But that's what I do. I also have a great outside linebacker in Lavonte David for coverage. So he is always in coverage. Again, I know those are kind of expensive to get these types of players that have that 91 zone, but I really like Lavonte David's speed, secure tackler, of course, and of course he's got the 91 zone. So Lavonte David is my choice. There's also Derek Brooks if you want to spend more. There's other guys you can get, but there's really not that many actually you can get. I really like this Lavonte David. At free safety, if you have Sean Taylor, of course, that is 100% the go-to place to go. It's Sean Taylor, no doubt. There's Paul Krause out there who's pretty cheap. There's a lot of cheap free safeties because of Sean Taylor that you could use, but Sean Taylor, the best free safety in the game. At strong safety, Ken Houston. I don't even have John Madden in my lineup right now, but gets up to 96 speed, 95 speed, just stock. He's really, really good, and you'll see him make some crazy good plays. I do think that this Ken Houston is the best strong safety in the game. Some people might argue Landon Collins because of run support or other strong safeties because they have secure tackler. Maybe it's Cam Chancellor now. Very well could be. But Ken Houston, Cam Chancellor is more expensive, and the other guys are not bad, but I like that speed there at strong safety. At the safety positions, it really does show up. And then at corners, I had Mel Blount in there, but I gave him back to Scumbag TT23. It was his player. So I gave him back, and my other corner is Marshawn Lattimore. Now, I will tell you, Marshawn Lattimore made more plays, but Mel Blount was secure tackler and having good speed and all around, the great block shed, and the run support is very, very good. So Mel Blount, I don't think he's necessary. You could go with Night Train Lane for a much cheaper. Those are the only 2 guys I think that have secure tackler. Or you go with somebody else. But this Marshawn Lattimore, what you'll notice is I am pressing every single play, and he can't get burned because he has 96 speed, 96 with John Madden. He goes 97. Even John Ross, if you have him at 98 or John Madden 99 speed, that's still not going to get beat over the top, most likely, because just of how streaks are in this game. It just doesn't happen. It could happen, and I want to talk about a mistake I made with, not Marshawn Lattimore, but with Mel Blount in the video, and how you can not make that same mistake. But for me, that speed allows you to bring him up in the box, and though he's not Mel Blount type of physical, I mean, Mel Blount is in a land of his own because of how physical and how he has secure tackler, he still is very, very fast, and he's very, very good anyway. So him with Mel Blount was very, very good. A.J. Boye, much more better run supporter than Lattimore, but he never saw the field because I was in 3-4 odd because I had Mel Blount. Will that be a downgrade from Blount to Boye if I decide to just keep those? Yeah, for sure. But I think Boye could fit this pretty good because he is also a physical guy, just without that secure tackler, slower. He's a worse Mel Blount, of course. You know, definitely. He doesn't have secure tackler. But A.J. Boye's always played well for me, and I like the card. So I'm not going to feel terrible. I think I might just slide him in a corner, too, and try my luck this week in league, you know, my next week in league, to see if he can still, you know, do as well as Mel Blount. But that's the defense. I'm not going to go over the offense like I said. I know that was a very long explanation, but let me know what your defense is. If there's somebody you think I should get that would fit my scheme better after watching this video. If you watched it on Twitch already, well, you don't, of course, have to watch this because I stream all these games on Twitch. But thank you for watching anyway, and I hope this explanation made sense. I'm not usually talking this much, but here we are trying to explain this, so thank you. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, at this point, I am 15-1, so you would bet I should be facing good players, and I'll talk about it when I see people that are in the top 100 about, you know, they'll be in the top 100. The first thing I want to talk about is single back tight slots. What you notice is this guy's running single back tight slots. I always pinch my line and spread my linebackers. I run a lot of cover 6, cover 9. It works really well, and it will pretty much shut it down. Do you see anything open there? He tries to I mean, that's still a really tough throw, even if he's able to do it. These deep quarters play so well that I love this cover 6, cover 9, and I kind of just, you see how good this is. Even that's, I think, the biggest run I think I've given up on, like it is so good against the pitch or any sort of outside runs. Pinch your line, spread your linebackers, and what's so good about it is it plays the dive so well. If you have like Mean Joe Green in there or somebody better than J.J. Watt, you'll even be in better situation than that. And now you see us against Gun Bunch. Now, Gun Bunch, this is, I know Zan made a video on this. I've been running this for a while. Cover 6, cover 9. I run a lot of it, and I generally do think the quarters on the single side wide receiver is better. So, and that was cover 6, putting the quarters on the left side with a single wide receiver, which I did here. I do not do here because this is my 3-4 odd blitz. But making sure that is true because there's a lot of cover 2 or just cloud flat beaters in Gun Bunch. And what they do is they run from right to left. So when they're on that bunch side, they're going to try to get it beyond the cloud. Well, if you have quarters over there, especially if they're pressed, it's going to be really tough to get behind those or or even in front of them. The quarters just play so well against those routes. So you see a nice kind of lucky run there. Okay, so much for that. But that's really unfortunate there. But that's why cover 6, a cover 9. It depends on what. This is a beautiful lurk by me. It depends on what side they're using it. I like the quarters, the deep quarters on the side of the single wide receiver, but sometimes I do mess around with it because I don't want them to get too comfortable with what I'm doing. Single back tight slots, you see, again, dive. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work when you pinch your line and spread your linebackers. It's pretty good. You can also move your safeties to the outside a little bit more to play a little bit better. I mean, this is out there on YouTube. People have been doing this for a long time, and you can look how to defend the pitch or something. I'm sure there's videos out there. You see Ken Houston. That's what I'm talking about with that speed. I don't know how many safeties make that play, but that's a tough play. If you're struggling at something like that, just move your safety over, and that won't be an issue. Just move him over to the right. With that speed, I don't have to, I guess, tell what I'm going to do on the defense side as much because the speed on those guys can make up for it. Now, what just happened with that last play is I was pressing and he got behind the quarters. Of course, you could keep doing it, but if that is something that they keep making that sort of read, so I put the quarters on the right side, with the bunch. If you notice that, of course, you don't have to press. I do like pressing Or you can just press and then just move your quarters deeper so they don't get, so low, so far, I guess upfield. So they just kind of stay back a little bit more. That's something you could definitely adjust with, and something that I kind of learned. Because what you notice is I'm like always pressing. But that gets your guys up there. With that quarter zone, they do not press. And a lot of times they can get beat. But I have Marshawn Lattimore and Mel Blount, so I'm like, I don't think they're going to beat me over the top even with that because they got great speed. So that's a very good spin by him. He was able to get outside. But yeah, you see it. Cover 6, cover 9, always putting a spy out there, even when I'm not facing a mobile quarterback. Though most people will use Vic or Culpepper, somebody like that. So you're gonna be facing these a lot. But yeah, the press. Do you see anything open? What a terrible read by my opponent. Like, is there anything open there? I don't see it, and that's against PA deep outs, which people love. Now you can maybe fit on the out route on one side, but when you keep flipping it and you're running cover 6, cover 9, they don't know which side your cloud and what people. I mean, if they really pay attention to what you're doing, they can figure it out. But generally, people aren't trying to do that. They see you're in cover 6, cover 9, and almost assume that they can't pass it. Like you got a cloud on both sides on the outside. Like they don't really know. Like because you keep switching it back and forth, and it makes it hard on them. And you see, like, verticals, like, okay, whatever. Like, Sean Taylor, Ken Houston, they're so good. And you see me manually move Ken Houston over because even though he's getting pressed, Ken Houston still has a lot of, he's got to make up some ground there. So he's got to make sure to get outside, which he will easily. You don't really have to move Ken Houston too much because of his fantastic speed. But, again, like, do you see anything open there? Underneath, yes. I mean, I know I gave up a touchdown here, and I'm just going to talk about that. But the underneath, but generally, players don't like to just keep dinking and dunking, and of course, mix in some hard flats. That's just based on what your opponent's doing. Now, the reason why that was a touchdown on that last play is because that was Odell Beckham, and I think he has a +2 speed advantage on Mel Blount. Could be wrong. Might have only been +1 with John Madden. But when you're running a cover 4 and you press, that is going to be bad news Bears if there is a speed difference, in their favor. If they notice it, and you may defend it once, but next time maybe not. And you see Odell barely outrun Mel Blount. So, I mean, that was a good read by my opponent for sure, and that was a mistake that I made, but I would not make that again against Odell after seeing that speed difference. So that depends on your corners, of course. If you have the speed advantage, you can press them, you can bring them up, and you don't have to worry too much about those quarters. But because it's not a cover 2 or cover 3, it's not a deep third or deep fourth, because it is a deep third or deep fourth, you're going to not get that press, and they're going to be able to get by you a lot of times. So keep that in mind. You'll notice that I'm willing to, that was a terrible read by my opponent. I'm willing to get up there and get physical and get my guys up, but I also have very good corners. So the way to fix that is simply, if you want to press, definitely press. But take that quarter side, whoever that may be, depending on if you're in cover 6, cover 9, take that guy and just manually take him, the guy on the right side in this situation, and just go over there and just move him back. Like, that's the simple solution. Like, it stinks if you don't have the best players. You see what I just did there? I was so excited. So you see what he did. He glitched the route. So this is something that I found works very well, and something that is kind of going to be lost in this video, I feel like. But I switched it to a soft squat, which I don't really think it matters because he glitched it. So, or whatever. It's not really a glitch. It's the way that, it works. Like, there's nobody on that side, so he's going to play man because there's no one else to defend. I pass committed because he can't run the ball once he motions him over, and then also shaded outside. And you've seen how Mel Blount played that, and I was so excited because I knew exactly what he was going to do. I knew he was doing a C route, and man coverage, if you got decent corners out there, will play the C routes very well if you do what I just said. I noticed that works really well. You see J.J. Watt with a nice pick. I always like those. The golfer boy here, that guy's a top 100 guy. So instead of the guy finished, I think 19-6, right on the edge. But yeah, top 100, and we beat him fairly easy. So this next opponent that we were facing is not. Well, he might have been, but he messaged me and said his brother was playing me or something. I'm not sure. But this game was over very quickly, so we didn't even bother. You see Lattimore. That's a cloud getting all the way back there. I don't know. I was very surprised on the 2nd and 24 he's able to do that. So, well done by Marshawn Lattimore from the Ohio State University. Well done. And yeah, if you want to know what I'm running on offense, you may see a little bit. I run a little bit of single back tight slots, but a lot of it is a gun wing, which I don't think a lot of people really run. So I really like that. So that's that's always fun. So I don't know if I'll do a video on that, but it's a little bit different. Of course, the run game's so powerful. We are now facing Sam Island. Now, Sam Island, also a top 100 guy. I faced this guy before, and I think he's beat me twice. I played him back. I think he beat me both times when I played him. I could be wrong, but he's running deuce close. Now, this is something I want to make sure I talked about, was this deuce close D. This, I think, was a misclick or something. I feel a little bit bad, but deuce close D. The reason why I use the Ravens is for one reason, really. Well, I love 3-4 odd, but they have, well, you see it right there, look at that. They have 3-4 over. And 3-4 over will absolutely kill deuce close. And you see it, like I just absolutely blew that up. 3-4 over, base of line, that's about it. Now, if they flip it, the wham, and run it to the other side, it doesn't work as well, but still, it's not very effective. 3-4 over, super good against deuce close, and cover 4 I really like. You got to be a little careful because I know there is one-play touchdowns in deuce close, but again, I say show it to me. You know, with my, if you beat it me once, then okay, I'll make the adjustment. But I'm gonna make them have to make a read or make them show me that they can, burn me over the top before I switch what I'm doing. And maybe you disagree with that logic, but you see this pitch stuff just isn't working against this defense. But if I'm gonna go ahead and bring my guys up, get them up in the box, and if you show that you can make a read over the top, then okay. Then I'll make the adjustments, I'll back my guys off, I'll switch some coverages around, but, we're facing top 100 guys, and really nobody really made that read, very rarely, and even if they did make that read, you make a small adjustment, and then it's fixed. So, the other thing I want to talk about is what you just seen happen there, though he did complete the pass, a really bad user by me, is the cross 3 fire blitz out of 3-4 odd. Now, this is, of course, a very popular blitz, and it's the only blitz I really run. I don't understand some of these passes, like how they're not picked. I just don't understand. But cross 3 fire out of 3-4 odd is a very, very popular blitz. It's been out there. I think it's on YouTube. Mazomatic, I know, made a video about it, and I'm sure others have as well. But this isn't a Rosie special. But it's very simple. I've been running this for quite a while. A Rosie, a very, very good player, very, very good player, runs it, or did run. I don't know if he still runs it. And it's, again, why are these not getting picked? Like I even was saying, like, this is competitive. Are you serious? Like, how does you don't get punished there? But all you do is in 3-4 odd, there's a cross 3 fire. You base a line and blitz all your linebackers. So I think that's what the R1, just double click. That's like the quick adjustment to bring up your linebacker menu. I think that's right, or RB on Xbox. Playing on Xbox, that you probably know. And it will bring up your menu, and you blitz all your linebackers. Now, if I remember, I'll put all this stuff in a comment or description below. I probably will put it in a comment, easy to read, showing you exactly how to set these plays up. Exactly, really, the cross 3 fire is really the only thing for this blitz. You base a line and you blitz all linebackers. That's basically the setup. And then you put your user, which is the second middle linebacker, in this case Anthony Barr, into a hook. Then you got it. You can QB contain, you cannot. I don't really know if there's really much difference there. And that's the blitz. You're sending 6. You're sending your 3D linemen and your 3 linebackers outside of yourself. 6 guys sending. 7 if it's you, but obviously you switch your own. So that's it. Then you can do whatever you want with your 4 other guys, your secondary guys, your defensive backs. You can put, the 2 on the outside in clouds. Like, I don't understand this game. Like, how is that not picked? That doesn't make any sense. Put them in clouds and put your, make a cover 2 shell. Put them in deep halves. You can put them in hards. If you're not you can do all. You can man people up. You can do all kinds of things in cross 3 fire with those 4 guys remaining. Generally, you like to run like a cover 2 shell-ish with hard flats or clouds on the side and deep blues, deep halves for your safeties. But you can do whatever you want. The way to get the blitz to come in, all you have to do is base a line and blitz all your linebackers and maybe QB contain. That's really all you have to do. Spread your D line. I see some people do that. I don't really think it really makes too much difference. Maybe it's a little bit better. I don't know. I don't really like it, though, because I feel like it makes the run game, I guess the run is much worse. So You see we knock off Sam Island again, top 100 guy there. So feeling pretty good. Like we are at this point, whatever, like 20-1. So we're obviously doing very, very well in Weekend League. And this game right here, I don't think I have too many clips out of it. Maybe I'm wrong. I think this game might have got out of hand. But you see him induce close, and like, I mean, it just doesn't work. I'm in 3-4 over, and you just base it line, and you can do this in any formation. Some look better, like cover 4. A lot of people like. I don't really. Okay, that was a very good playmaker by now. Okay, that was very, very good. I don't mind cover 2 against it. I don't mind cover 6, but 3-4 over against deuce close, base line, press. And did you see how much that just looped right there? That cross 3 fire, and all I'm doing is base aligning and blitzing all my linebackers and QB containing. That's it. Like there's nothing else besides, and then do whatever you want with your secondary. Of course, you can make any adjustments. It will take some time to get used to doing those adjustments if you haven't done it all year, but it will be worth it. As by the end of the year, you'll get really good at it, and then going next year, you won't even have to worry about it because you'll be so good. You see him. Look at that. I don't understand. Okay, I understand how it's alert because I hit the button. It should have been alert, but it's like I didn't even get the animation. It just gave me. That was such a glitchy play by Madden there, which I guess you kind of expect. But anyway, now this right here, what we're facing, right? What you just see now. You don't see too many plays of this, and I don't really have much. But if you see a bunch on one side. Like that, bunch tight end, something, some pistol tight end, whatever that was. But if you ever see a bunch on one side, I really, really like doing the quarter, the deep, quarter on the opposite side. Because, I said this earlier, what you will find is people at this stage in Madden have, especially when you get to this many wins, they have ways to beat clouds, right? They get over your clouds. But quarters, especially if you press them, now, when they're playing like bunch formations, you don't really have to worry about getting beat over the top generally. There is exceptions that but if they do, you can always like bring them back. That's not really that big a deal. But if they're like in a bunch formation and they're bringing all the way across the field, they are expecting that to get over a cloud. But if you have a quarter over there and that's not your cloud, or you have a cloud underneath, I guess, in like a cover 6 or cover 9, cloud underneath, and you have a quarter behind that, what will happen is those quarters are super aggressive, and I'm not sure why quarters play so well, but quarters, in my opinion, are perhaps the most underrated. That wasn't a hard flat right there. I have no idea how he made that play, just so you know. Hard flat. I'm pretty sure that was a hard flat that he just made that play. But quarters play so well, and I think that's why cover 6, cover 9 is so good. That's just a bad throw by his quarterback. I don't really know what. Maybe that was him. Maybe he's target passing. I have no idea what he was doing there. How is that so bad? But that's my opinion on why I think it works so well. And people don't have one-play touchdowns against cover 4 and cover 6. Cover 6 and cover 9, because though there are one-play touchdowns against it, because like you have cover 4 on one side and cover 2 on the other, people don't know which side you're running it to. So they're like, think that they can, burn it over the top with a deep post, like a cover 4 beater, but then that's the wrong side, and, it doesn't work. Even if they guess correctly, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work every time. It depends if you send pressure, if you guys get block sheds and stuff. One-play touchdowns take a long time to develop, and, like I've said before, if you can show me once, you know what, well done. I'm going to be able to put up a little bit of points. You're not going to do it again. I'm going to make that adjustment. I'm going to make sure that whenever I see that formation, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to run it to the other side so you can't get one-play touchdowns. That's the way that I'm going to do it when approaching these things. And this guy right here, I think people were telling me that this guy used to be a competitive guy, maybe back a few years ago. Obviously, this one wasn't that close, but I don't know if he really plays too much anymore. So you see Turtle with a nice sub. Thank you, Turtle, on stream. Subbing, us just dominating. But I don't know. What do you guys think about this cover 6? I don't understand these animations. How is that not alert? It didn't matter, it's torqued down. But what do you guys think about this cover 6, cover 9 thing? Is it good? I mean, I went 23-2, and I honestly could have won one of those games. The other one, I don't think I necessarily would have won. He was just better than me. But I don't know. My offense is not good enough probably to win 25, go 25-0, but 23-2, pretty solid. I would venture to say that I would say that's pretty solid. The last thing I really want to say as we're finishing this up the last thing I want to say is when you're running cross 3 fire, so if you've noticed, and I don't know if I have another clip on that, your linebacker right here, that linebacker right next to me, right next to Anthony Barr, will be very in the middle. I don't understand how Sean Taylor made that play from a deep half, by the way. It will be obvious that you're running cross 3 fire against good players. What will happen when you're running cross 3 fire is they will max protect. They'll block 7. Now, it doesn't mean it won't come through. You're sending 6. Some block shed, could definitely happen. They won't have that much time. But it is something to know that if you want to make this, I guess, what is that? I know it's 4th down, but Deion Jones bats it down all the time. If you want to maybe take your play to even to the next level when you run cross 3 fire, try base aligning and not sending the cross 3 fire. Come out and cross 3 fire that play because it is obvious that you're blitzing what you're doing. But instead, don't blitz him. Only send 3. And what will happen is, if you mix it in enough, they will no longer max protect, and you will go ahead and get some sacks in there because they won't be able to max protect every play because they max protect, they're blocking 7, and you're only sending 3, and it's that's a very good read by him, but they're sending 3. This guy also a top 100 guy. So I think there was 3, I may not mention all of them, 3 or 4 top 100 guys that we faced in this here. You see us doing this nice fullback fake, and we get kind of glitchy here. I think he went for conservative. I think that's the only time that happens. Went for conservative. I can understand. Again, a top 100 guy. Again, another one knocked off. The 2 guys we lost to, I'm not sure the first guy, I don't remember. The second guy went 23-2 as well. And like I said, he was just better than me. But yeah, when you're running cross 3 fire, just to finish, which I already kind of said I was finishing, but cross 3 fire, when you are running it, it is obvious. But as you've seen that was pretty much all my defensive plays over the course of, 8 games, 9 games there. I don't think my last game was in there. So 8 games were in there. And that was almost all the defensive plays. And what you will notice is I don't run it that much. I run it in very, very strategic times. Usually 3rd and long is what I like to run it in because I don't have to worry about the the rushing attack, inside zones to the left side. Depending how I send it, I always send a looper guy from, if you're looking at it will be my number 1 middle linebacker always loops in. So if you run it to the left, a lot of times that guy will get clipped and everybody gets blocked and you can run it. I bounce to the outside, you get a huge gain. So if it's 3rd and 3, I'm probably not going to send it unless they have no running game. So 3rd and long, I really like it. 4th and long, I do like it if I didn't run it on 3rd and long, because if you do run it a lot, people will start max protecting and they're going to go downfield and there's going to be a ton of things open. If they have, routes that get open downfield, it will be pretty hard to defend when you only have 4 guys, and even if you guess right, they'll get eventually open because there's just not enough people, when you send 6 to defend, those plays. So that's something to think about when you're running this. If there's any more details you got any questions, definitely ask them in the comments. I've never done anything like this before. I've never had, anything like this where my defense has been so successful. You see, I didn't really give up many points at all. My offense was okay, but the defense is really what won us, 23 games. And could have been 24. The other game, one of the games that we lost, we were losing 7-6 at half. We ended up getting dominated. He went 23-2. He was better than us, or it was close. It was almost half. It was 7-6. The other game, or 6-7, we were losing. I think we fumbled and we just had some bad breaks. I think we lost 17-3. I think the defense might have given up 7 of that. So the defense was obviously very good. The offense is fine, but a lot of John Ross and throwing downfield is basically my offense and running the ball. So it's not anything too crazy. But this I think is kind of unique. I don't really see anybody run this too much. I know the cover 6 is kind of popular now, but cover 9, cover 6. Cross 3 fire, all there for you. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. I hope it was informative, and I hope it will help you win more games. And of course, make sure to let me know what players you think I should get on my team and what players you have suggestions if you want to run a cover 6, cover 9 sort of thing. What kind of players you should pick up to run this scheme. I like what I'm running. I think it makes sense. A zone linebacker and a blitzing linebacker. Levante David and Von Miller respectively, and then some fast safeties is basically fast corner. I know it's expensive guys, of course. I know, but it works. If not, you're just gonna have to make it. Well, you're gonna have to back people off a little bit more and move people over, make sure they're in position a little bit easier. But I've been talking too long, okay? I've been talking a long time. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are absolutely incredible. That's all I got. ChewbaccaLemma out.